hear him say that he's going to move their channel. I hear him say that he's going to move their channel. I hear him say that he's going to move their channel. I hear him say that he's going to move their channel. hear him say that he's a media general. Did I hear him say that he's a media general? Did I hear him say that he's a media general? Did I hear him say that he's a media general? Did I hear him say that he's a media general?
Hello everyone and welcome to Opera's special launch event. We're very excited that we can finally reveal what we have been working on. So please give a warm round of applause for Opera's EVP of Browsers, Christian Colandra.
Hello, everyone. It's such a pleasure to have some exciting news for everyone who loves the web just as much as we do. But before we get to that, let's take a look at the road which led us to this very moment. Opera was founded more than 20 years ago based on the idea that everyone would browse the web on any device. This wasn't obvious back then, but this early vision gave us an edge against other browsers. It's been amazing to see the web to grow from something only a few used to an integral part of the lives of more than 4 billion people today. Throughout our history, we stayed ahead of other browsers and pioneered innovations such as tabs and built-in browser VPN. 2 years ago, we opened a new chapter with the launch of the world's first concept browser, Opera Neon. It allowed us to start experimenting with bold ideas that define what the future of browsing will be like. Now, we're ready to take the next step into the future. This is the moment. Let me introduce to you our brand new mobile browser, Opera Touch. Isn't it a great-looking mobile browser? But it's more than that. It's also the perfect companion for your laptop. To tell you more about it, let me introduce our product manager, Maciek Kocemba.
Hi, everybody. I'm very happy to be here today. I'm going to tell you more about our brand new product called Opera Touch, a brand new mobile browser. But before we go to the details, let me tell you how we ended up here. So at some point, we have realized that mobile browsers of today are basically desktop browsers crammed to mobile devices. We also find them a little bit dull. But this is not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is that they were designed in a way that you think that the only way to use them comfortably is when sitting on a couch. You need two hands to operate them. Otherwise, it's very awkward and inconvenient to do. So at that stage, we decided, okay, there is something that we need to do, because definitely the current browsers are not doing their job properly. So the result is the new product that we called Opera Touch. At first glance, the heart of the application, the home screen, is very similar to other applications that you will find. At the top, you will find the search box, where you can find stuff or basically open on a web page. Also, underneath, you will see speed dials. This is something that you already know from other products from Opera. In Opera Touch, we made them smarter, which means the pages that you visit most often are automatically in there. Your top sites are always with you. And at the bottom, you will see a brand new icon that you haven't seen so far. This is called Fast Action button. This button does quite a lot of tricks, but I'll tell you more about it in a second. Before we get to the product, I wanted to mention that summer is coming. I hope you have the summer vacation plans. I'd like to go to Italy and see what the Italian coast has to offer. But to go any further with my plan, I'll just use Opera Touch and see how it can help me. So let's see. I'm starting the application. Just tap of a button, and here we are. And instantly, you see there's something different. It's not the usual view that you usually get. Application starts automatically in a searching mode, which, if you think about it, makes a lot of sense, because this is the typical thing you do with your mobile browser. You take it out and you do a search. You search for something that is relevant to you at that moment. For me, that's an Italian coast. Page loads fast, and let's see what the first link has to offer. It's a set of very nice looking images, all from Italy, but I'm still after something else. Portofino, maybe next time. Amalfi Coast, this looks good. Oh, there's even more from Amalfi Coast, but I like this picture a lot. I think I would like to search something more about Amalfi Coast itself. And this is where our fast action button comes into play. Just tap it, and you're taken directly into another web search, which is convenient. Just one tap, and you're ready to go. So let's see, Amalfi Coast. Opening the page. Lot of results, lot of results, lot of results, but finally there is a link. Lonely Planet. Looks good. Let's see what it has to offer. Wow, that looks really good. I almost feel that I'm already there. Before I go to Italy, I'd like to still tell you more about our fast action buttons. So far you have seen that I've used it with a single tap and get me to another search. But it can do so much more. If you swipe it and you hold your finger, the whole set of new functions is available. And the most prominent one are the big bubbles on top. They represent the tabs that were already open. Those are my recent tabs. And if you think about it, this is what browser is all about. You have lots of tabs, and you should be able to switch between them easily. In Opera Touch, you can just do a little swipe. You can do much more in here. So that's the page I found previously, but I don't need it anymore. So let's close it. Swipe again, and just hover over X. And that's all. It's done, closed. So at this stage, I have this little page, because it's little on the screen in here, but I would like to get on my computer over there. So what do I do? In most cases, and frankly, even up to now, I've been using a kind of a hack just to get around this problem. I was sending emails to myself, which is not the best way to do it. Other alternatives is basically sending a message to myself, or even sending a message to someone else and later on saying that this is not for you, which is kind of a bad idea if that was a surprise. So we thought Opera Touch has to fix this vital problem. That is why on top you will see a little arrow. This arrow sends the page you are on straight to your computer. So let's press it and see what happens. Well, it does great things, but it doesn't really do magic. We first need to connect those devices. And if you think about connecting devices, you instantly think about user accounts, passwords, and confirmation mails, and all those things. It's just too much hassle. We thought we can make it easier, and this is our result. All I have to do to connect this phone with this laptop is to scan that QR code. It's awfully quick. And it's done. That's all. Just point, scan, and it's done. It's not a cheat. A real connection, a secure one, is established within seconds. So right now, I could press the button once again to send it to my computer. But I feel it would be a little bit of cheating because we wanted to have the product operated just by one hand. So let me initiate the fast action menu once again and use the arrow from here. So my page is seamlessly sent to my computer. If I head to my computer, I will see all the things that I have so far in my flow. My flow is a feature available in your Opera browser on desktop and holds all links that were sent so far. So let's open it and see how it looks on a computer. Well, definitely, it's a page to consume later on my laptop. But it wasn't enough for us. We thought, okay, we've made searching on a phone much better, easier, and navigating quicker. So what could we do with our desktop browser? We thought we need to integrate something to make our searching easier. And we did. Let me introduce you to the feature called Instant Search. You just press Alt space and convenient big text field appears on the screen with big letters, so you can conveniently read it. Also, please spot how the background page is dimmed out. All your focus is just on this text that you're entering. So I think Amalfi Coast is something where I would like to go. So let's see what Amalfi has to offer when it comes to food. Best restaurants. So the internet says there are a lot of options, but let's see whether there's some link that would make it more interesting. Best restaurants of Amalfi Coast. This looks interesting. Here it is. And while I'm looking at those gorgeous pictures, it reminds me of another thing. I do like to take a lot of pictures when I'm traveling. So let's search for more options. What are the best spots in Amalfi? Best photo spots. Let's see what's there. So it's not only Amalfi, it's also about the whole Italy. Let's see whether I can find something for Amalfi. There it is, Naples and Amalfi. So this definitely looks like something I would like to have with me when I'm traveling. Obviously, I'm not going to travel with my laptop. It's too big, too clumsy. I'll just take my phone with me. So with one click, I could send the page I'm looking at the moment to my phone straight away. Just one click, and here it is, like that. However, this is not enough for me. Knowing the spots where to take pictures is good, but I still need to remember to take a camera. So while the connection is established between the devices, why not to take a note and leave something for me for later? So I can just write, don't forget about extra batteries, and enter. And like that, it's already in here. So as you could see, it's not really difficult. I didn't have to use email. I didn't have to use other applications. Everything happened inside the browser, which makes sense if you think about it, because the browser is the application to open web pages. On my mobile, I can show you that my flow looks exactly the same way as it does on a computer. So whatever you have over there, you have always with you. Which reminds me that I totally forgot about the site with the food. And we very often find ourselves in the same problem. You sent yourself 5 links, but you forgot about that 1/6 crucial link. And we've got you covered. Opera Touch comes also with another functionality called Continue from your computer. Once the devices are connected, always your 3 last tabs are available with you in your mobile. Let me just tap the best restaurants in here so I can enjoy those things later on. So let me just recap what we have seen so far today. We've got brand new mobile browser called Opera Touch, which is designed in a way that you can use it with just one hand. Moreover, mobile browser connects with your computer using My Flow feature, which binds those devices. And last but not least, we also have the Instant Search feature, which allows you to do better and easier searches on your desktop. So that's all from me today. Thank you very much. I hope you will enjoy the products as much as we enjoyed doing them. Thank you.
Thank you a lot, Maciek and team, for creating 2 awesome products. So let's just recap really quickly. We have a brand new mobile browser called Opera Touch, and we have a new version of our Opera browsers for PCs. Go ahead and download them from opera.com, and please let us know what you think. And if you want to know more about Opera Touch or have any remaining questions, we'll be hosting a live Q&A session on our Facebook and YouTube with Christian and Maciek, where they will reply to all your questions. So thank you so much for joining us today. It was really a pleasure to have you here, and we see you live in the Q&A session. Goodbye.
In my mind, take it slow. Sinking in, rewind the show. Ooh, ooh. Sparks are flying in my head. Thoughts of you. In my mind, you take it slow. Sinking in, rewind the show. Ooh, ooh. Sparks are flying.
Hello everyone and welcome to our live Q&A session with Christian Kolondra, EVP of Browsers, and Maciek Kocema, Product Manager.
Hi.
So as you have just seen in our live event, we have a brand new mobile browser called Opera Touch with some really cool, awesome features. And we have a new Opera browser for PC version, as you have seen. So how excited are you about the live event? Do you think that it went really well? Are you excited that the product has finally been launched?
We're happy it's over.
It's good
Cool.
to see it out.
Okay, so maybe we can just start with the first questions to everyone that is here in the live Q&A session or they ask me anything. Feel free to share more questions on YouTube or on Facebook, wherever you are joining. Okay, so let's just start. What was Opera R2 and how does it actually relate to Opera Touch? So what are the two different products that were just presented today?
Okay, so R2 is basically Reborn 2. So some time ago we have launched the concept browser Opera Neon, and then we thought about taking some bits and pieces from it and transfer all of this into our Opera for Computers browser. So that is why we had a Reborn release. But then we thought that we need something more, like a companion as well to our desktop product. So that is why a Reborn 2.
Okay, cool. We just got a question from a user. Let's just see. Hey Hans Hansen, and he is asking where he can download the desktop version.
Okay, so desktop version is already available on opera.com. If you're already Opera user, then you can go to Opera About and then it will auto-update automatically.
And if not, just go to Opera.com and download the latest version.
Yeah, so I hope, Hans, this answers your question. Just go to opera.com. Next question. So what is actually the Flow feature? Can you just describe it a little bit more and how it works?
Okay, so Flow is, in very short terms, just like a personal space where you share things between your computer and your phone. And whatever you share, it's always there waiting for you in a streamlined view, like more or less like a timeline view. So you know exactly when it was sent and you know what was sent one after another thing.
It's like chat with yourself.
Yeah.
simply.
And then we have another question. So when can people expect Opera Touch for iOS?
Soon. It's in the making. So of course we don't know how the approval process, how long it will take, but I hope really soon. We're also waiting for it.
We also have a question from Facebook, asked by Daniel, and he is asking whether he needs an Opera account in order to use Opera Touch.
No, that's the best beauty. All you need to do is have Opera on your desktop and your phone, and you just connect those to scanning QR code, and no additional accounts, no passwords, nothing like that is needed.
And what is great about this that it's really safe because it uses strong cryptography. The keys are on your devices; they are not stored in the cloud. So this is your private chat with yourself.
Okay, Super Kiwi, sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name right. As you have just heard, his question is the data in our Flow encrypted? Does Opera look at the data and how long is it stored? So Christian, you have just mentioned that there is a safe connection. Do you just want to go more into detail on whether we can access the data, or maybe you might check?
I can cover that. So it's end-to-end encryptions, which means that all the data is always encrypted, and we have no clue how to even look into it because all the keys needed to unencrypt it are on your devices, which means for us it's just a blob of data. We don't know what's inside.
So no Opera cannot access this data. This data is private end-to-end encryption. So it is your like a private channel where you can store or share information, links, photos, videos with yourself.
Yeah, and I think it's the perfect opportunity. So you don't have to send the links to your girlfriend, boyfriend, mother, father any longer. You can just send them directly to yourself without having to use any other apps. So you can just do it directly in Flow. So a next question. Can I connect two desktop browsers on different PCs with one smartphone? Is that possible?
Not at this stage. The very first version that we're unveiling today allows you to connect your phone with your laptop or computer, but we're looking into more options soon.
Okay. Another question we have. So why did you design a browser that can be used with just one hand?
Well, we use mobile browsers a lot and use mobile browser in different contexts, not just sitting comfortably somewhere. Use it on the go, and quite quickly you can observe yourself that it's not really comfortable, especially maybe if you're in a tram or in a bus when it's shaky and the phone is getting bigger and bigger. So we thought that we could do something better, and we thought that there could be a solution where you could address all that stuff. You could address basically using the whole application just using your one thumb. So our internal goal was that most typical cases when browsing, they all should be accessible in the lower part of the screen. And while you're holding the device, all you have is just a thumb that is free to be used. So that was the main principle behind the UI.
And I can totally relate to it, actually. I often find myself using both hands, even though I just need one. So let's skip to the next question. Is cryptojacking included in Opera Touch? We have released the anti-Bitcoin mining tool back in January, so will this also be included in Touch?
Yes, well, it's included. You will find it in Opera Touch. We find it very useful and important part of an application, especially that cryptojacking vulnerabilities are visible and they're kind of a problem. So we thought all our users need to be protected, and that's why it's included in Touch as well.
Same as ad blocking.
So I actually see a few comments from people that they have already downloaded Opera Touch, which is really great, so keep downloading. Everyone who's watching, you can get it from the Google Play Store. Okay, next question. Can Flow be used without desktop?
No. Flow is a unique feature that binds those devices together. If you don't have a desktop browser and mobile browser, there is no need for Flow.
I agree. Okay, so maybe another question that we have. Is R2, back to the desktop browser, a follow-up of Neon? Or how have Neon features been integrated into R2? And can we also see some of the Neon features in Touch?
Okay, so like R2 is the second phase of Reborn. So this is not the final word that we want to say, that we started with the concept browser called Neon. We also, in our browser labs, we're also further experimenting with how the future of browsing could look like. So like, I don't want to say too much right now, but we're really preparing interesting stuff for the future as well.
So guys, everyone who's watching, make sure that you stay aware of our social media channels and our blogs that we have online if you want to know what's happening in the future or just in upcoming launches. So to everyone who has just joined, let me just recap what we're doing here. We had a live launch event of our R2 browser and Opera Touch, the new mobile browser that we have. And you can send in all your questions that you have. In case that you have missed the launch event, we will upload a recorded version of it, and you can just rewatch it. Okay, up to the next question. This is a very interesting question. Why would you recommend people to use Opera Touch instead of a regular browser? What makes it so different?
So
I think I can go with this one. So I think the answer for this one is again our two principles that we had when designing Opera Touch as things behind the user experience. So the first one is that searching should be quickly accessible. That's why application starts quickly in search mode. You do a lot of web searches in a web browser, so that's why we thought that this needs to be like a primary thing which you interact with. Also, it needs to be easily accessible inside the application. That's why the fast action button always leads you to another search. So that's one thing. It's like an obvious thing that helps you to do web searches. And the other one, once again, is the fast action button together with the principle that you should be able to use the application with one hand. If you start using it, you find it so useful that it's kind of hard to switch back to anything else you had. So I would recommend the product, apart of course of the visual aspects and Flow itself. Those two things are already enough to have a more comfortable version of a browser in your phone.
We just got another question regarding sync. So, does Opera Touch have sync, or will it have sync in the future?
So Opera Touch today synchronizes via private channel together and is synced to Opera Desktop. But in the future, there will be a way to synchronize all our products.
Very good. I hope that answers your question. And then here's another one. I think we will reply to you after the AMA session, Vision Classic. Your question is how to open my flow on Opera Developer Desktop Browser, but I'll get to that after the live session. So the Opera Touch looks very good. It's really
Thank you.
pretty. So who are the designers behind the browser, and where did you get the inspiration for it in general?
Well, the inspiration is already harking back to other previous projects, so you can feel some aspects of Neon already. Some say that it's similar to Coast as well. So we're iterating those things internally. We have lots of different mock-ups, and we're simply playing with those ideas to see what will come up the best. It's hard to say, to pinpoint just one thing.
Yeah. And we started introducing the team also on Instagram, so you can see some faces, some people that have actually worked on the touch design.
We have another question from Hans, and he's actually asking whether my flow or a flow will also be integrated in maybe Opera for Android. Is there a chance that we'll see it there or not? Or don't you want to say it and just keep it a surprise for the future?
No, I think this is our idea is that Touch and Opera for Android are two different browsers. One is, like Maciek said, is for searching quickly, is for to be easily operated with one hand, having of course, the easy connectivity to the PC, while Opera for Android is supposed to be a feature-rich browser that contains many features that some people require. And of course, it makes a lot of sense that MyFlow will be included in Opera for Android as well.
And I think this is very exciting news for everyone that is on Opera for Android. So we'll keep you updated on it, and we hope that you can use it soon. Okay, let's skip to the next question. Back to the flow feature, actually. So can I share my flow with other people to send them links? Or is it really just
No.
personal?
This is your private channel.
Okay, I think there's really not a lot more that you can say to it because we already mentioned it a lot. So my flow is really to send notes, messages, videos, whatever medium to yourself from desktop to your mobile browser.
And vice versa.
And vice versa. So maybe the last question, how do you guys come up with these awesome new browser ideas? Because Opera has been known to be very innovative when it comes to implementing new features into the browser.
So if you think how the browsers look today, it's actually, we can say with pride, it's thanks to Opera, thanks to that we browse in tabs, that we have the speed dials, how the browsers look like. We continue to experiment. We are working on various ways of how you could browse. We're wondering whether the next steps for browsing will be in VR or in augmented reality. We're playing with the user interface and various concepts, and this is how we start with those ideas.
Okay, we're just checking the last questions that are coming in. Okay, let's see, what are people asking on Facebook? Oh yeah, so does Opera Flow work like an IM, interface?
You could say like this. This is like it can look like visually like your devices talking to each other. So in that sense, yes.
Mm-hmm. And also you can leave notes yourself for later. So in a way, it really kind of resembles a messenger.
Okay. So I think now we will really go to the very last question. To everyone watching, thank you so much for sending in your questions. In case your question hasn't been answered, we will do it after the live. So I'll just do this one last. So is Opera Touch a concept browser like Neon, or what is the future plan for the browser?
No, it's not a concept browser. It's something that we would like to actively develop and see where it goes.
Okay, good. So thank you so much, Christian and Maciek,
Thank
for
you.
this live Q&A session with our users. Let's just recap what we heard. So we have a brand new desktop browser, R2, and which means Reborn 2. And we do have a brand new mobile browser. And the mobile browser, you can download it from opera.com. The new desktop browser, you can also download it from opera.com or just update the browser. And we also have published a blog post where you can read which other features have also been implemented into the new release. You can watch the event later at opera.com/R2 and recap just all the features that we have published. Let us know what you think, either in the comments or now in the live comments or on Facebook, or just reach out to us on Twitter. And thank you so much for joining. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And we'll see you soon. Bye.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everyone.